In this video we will be sketching the graph of this polynomial. So the easy part is recognizing that the x-intercepts are going to come from the zeros of this polynomial. A factor of x plus 2 gives you an x-intercept of -2. A factor of x minus 1 gives you an x-intercept of +1. Imagine setting these equal to 0 and solving. So let's go ahead and draw that. So we'll have an x-intercept at -2 and another one at +1. Now, the behavior of the graph at each x-intercept depends on the multiplicity of the factor. This one is multiplicity 3, and this one is multiplicity 1, a triple and a single. When you have a single factor, the graph passes straight through that x-intercept. When the multiplicity is 2, then there is a bounce at that x-intercept. And when you have a triple factor, you have an inflection which sort of flattens out and then continues on through. So because this is a triple factor, we will have an inflection at -2. This is a single, so this one should pass straight on through, an inflection and through. Now let's talk about the end behavior. For the end behavior, it's going to depend on the degree and the leading coefficient. Alright, just paying attention only to the end behavior. These are the only 4 possibilities. Either both arms will be pointing up, or both arms will be pointing down, or you'll have a down and an up, or you'll have an up and a down. Those are the only 4 possible end behaviors. So it turns out that if the degree is even, that's when both arms point the same way, like this and this. This is the positive version, this is the negative version. If the degree is odd, that's when you have one arm down and one arm up. The positive version looks sort of like a capital letter N. The negative version is backwards. So what do we have this time? Well, looking at the factors, there are 3 of these and 1 of these. That's a total of 4 factors. Alright, so the degree is 4. That is even. That means it's either going to be like this or like this when we talk about end behavior. This is the positive version, this is the negative version. Because it's got that negative in front, that tells us that this is what the end behavior will look like. Alright, both arms pointing down. Now, what we need the most is we need to know that the graph starts down. So I'm going to begin my graph low, and I have these x-intercepts here at -2 and +1. So I'm going to begin low, and I'm going to do an inflection at the -2, and then I'm going to pass straight through the 1. Okay, so here I go. I'm starting off low, but I'm going to do an inflection. That's where it sort of flattens out and then goes through. So I've done my inflection. So now I need to curve around early enough to pass through at 1. Okay, so this graph should look something like this. So notice both arms are facing down as we knew they would. So now let's look for a graph like this. Inflection at -2, going through 1. Okay, there's no inflection here. Here I have an inflection at -2, passing through 1, both arms down. Looks like the answer is B. Just a quick check, make sure nothing else is quite doing it. The answer is, in fact, B.